Sindhu's played really well over the last few days, and with today's match also, I think it's something to be proud of. I think the way she's gone on court and the way she's kind of fought hard is something which is really remarkable. आई थिंक सिंधु के पास पिछले 3 महीने में फ़ोन नहीं था, तो पहली बार मैं उसका फ़ोन वापस करूँगा. दूसरा चीज़ 12 दिन 13 दिन से जहाँ से अब तक आए हैं, तब तक उसको एक स्वीट योगर्ट पसंद था, वो मैंने छीन लिया उससे. वो बोला कि वो नहीं खाएगी. उसके बाद उसको आइसक्रीम पसंद था, वो नहीं खाने दिया. तो डेफिनेटली आई थिंक आई लीट हर वॉट एवर शी वॉन्ट्स, एंड डेफिनेटली आई थिंक शील डू दैट. I think it's important. I think more than her, I think it was important for me to forget that she lost the match and focus on the fact that she won the medal. I think that's what I told her post that, because she's had a great last week, and I think it's important that the kind of work she's put in the last few months has been tremendous. The kind of sacrifices she's made without complaining has been fantastic, and she deserves to enjoy that moment, and that's what I really wanted, and I'm truly very happy that we've been able to make this happen.
I was talking about the vertical balance. The vertical balance. That means the up and down part of the artwork. Now in vertical balance, it is an asymmetrical balance. Similarly, in horizontal balance, the left side of the artwork is balanced by the right side of the artwork. Generally, symmetrical balance is a mirror one. Like the left part of the artwork balances the right part, and it is almost like a mirror image. Whereas an asymmetrical balance, the visual weight is balanced by one important or two important elements on the other side. So overall, it is balanced, but it may not be the mirror of the left to right side. Contrast. Now, in contrast, it's a fundamental principle, of course. It involves creating differences in the visual elements to make certain parts of the composition stand out. It's a powerful tool used to draw the attention, create interest, and establish hierarchy in a design. See some of the example of the contrast. All the apples are pictured in blue color, except for the one which is in yellow color. So that create a contrast. The contrast is given by the color. Similarly, the size contrast. Two are large and one is suddenly brought in as a small piece of the peach. And that's what is giving the contrast in the picture. Another example is the shape contrast. All are oval shaped except for one which is a star shaped. Texture contrast. Among a smooth old texture, of course, there comes out a broken brick texture. So that is also another kind of contrast. Next, among the principle of design is emphasis. Emphasis is a design principle that involves giving specific elements within a composition or design greater importance than the visual prominence. Emphasis is used to draw the viewer's attention to particular area or elements of the design, creating focal points and also at times hierarchy. But here you better focus onto the focal point because hierarchy is another principle in itself. Some of the examples, like in this picture, you can find that there is a focal point created by the artist by giving a white shirt and a light on the subject. So that is what is emphasized. I'll give you an example in hierarchy, it is very different. Hierarchy, they raise the position, the importance of the subject. Here, the importance is not raised, it is just that the element is focused by highlighting it and giving a contrast color. So, what are the other ways of giving emphasis? Color, suddenly change of the color, shape, there is an apple shape in between the triangular shapes, size of the element and dominance also with the color, detailing of the element and as well as the size, contrast by way of giving complementary color and isolation also. Like these are the groups of 2 and 3 and this is isolated as 1. Next of the principle of the design is movement. Movement is a design principle that involves creating a sense of motion, progression, or flow within a composition. It is the arrangement and the manipulation of the design elements to guide the viewer's eye through the design, creating a dynamic and engaging visual experience. Let's look into the example of movement. A stadium and the steps of it. But as you see, it looks as if everything is moving from one end to another end. Similarly, if you just have diagonal line, as you see here, arranged parallel to each other, it gives a sense of movement. Now, in a competitive exam, they may give any one element out of this, or they may ask you to show movement using any one or two of these elements. And then you can always recollect and remember that diagonal lines arranged like this, or vertical line arranged in a musical way, they give feel of movement, or even the horizontal lines like this, curved line like this, flowing line like this, or even a star made like this show a movement. Next is rhythm. Rhythm is a design principle that involves repetition and variation of visual elements to create a sense of movement and flow and organization within a composition. It's like the beat and the tempo in a music, and it guides the viewer's eye through the design. Here it is regular rhythm, and here it is a progressive rhythm, quite like beat of the music. Next of the principle of design is proportion. Now remember friends, when we talk of proportion, you have to remember that it is the comparison of different sides, different sides of one element in the design, different portion of one element within the design. Proportion is a design principle that involves the relative size and of scale different parts of one structure. Example, the length of a door to the width of the same door. The example is here elaborately shown. The length is 2.5 times to the width of this door. The length is 2.5 times to the width of this door. So proportion is two parts of one element, which is scaled. And in a scale, it is one to another. I'll show you, like I'll also explain you when it comes for a scale. Scale in art describes the size of object in relation to another and also refers to our perception of perspective and proportions. Artworks that look realistic are scaled similar to the real world objects. Scale in art can also refer to the overall size of the work. Let's look into the example. Now these are couple of exaggerated scale. How the scale is shown here is a person's height to the height of the bottle, one to another. Size of an adult to the hand of a child. Here is an exaggerated scale. Exaggerated size of a comb is compared to the size of the bed, called as exaggerated scale. Now hierarchy is different. Hierarchy is a technique used in art, most often in sculpture and painting, in which the artist depicts objects with an unnatural scale to show their importance. Now, importance is the thing. Like you give more value to one person or one object comparing the other one in the same picture. It is emphasizing the designation by height, position, size, emotion, etc. Ancient Egyptian artists are well known for their use of hierarchical scale. What they used to show actually, uh, a big furrow compared to a normal height person. Some example. Now here you may wonder, there is no size hierarchy, but the importance is given to this lady by two things. One, that her gown is blue, normal natural height, although, and she is escorted by a guard with a red umbrella. So here, the position in the viewer's mind is raised. The importance is given. Although there is another lady being escorted by another um, guard with a blue umbrella, but blue umbrella is more or less mingles with the backdrop. So ultimate importance is given to this lady. Now in this statue of Lycon and his sons, also called as Lycon group, here is exaggerated size of the Lycon, the king Lycon, and the normal size of his children. It's a sculpture. Unity and harmony. Unity and harmony are design principles that involve creating a sense of cohesion and consistency within a composition. These principles are closely related and often used interchangeably. They aim to ensure that all the elements within a design work together to create a visually pleasing and coherent whole. See, friends, whenever you see a uniform, say that it is unity. Uniform is a word derived from unity. So here is absolute unity. Here you can see that the color of sheep forms a unity. Color of the dresses of the people there forms unity and harmony. Similarly, their turban. That forms a unity and harmony. Scale. Scale is a design principle that deals with the relative size of element within a composition or design. I think I have already covered it. It is the repetition of the same. It involves the measurement and proportion of the different components in relation to one another and overall context. Again, the scale is given. Like, look at the height of the structure here to the height of the person. Here is an exaggerated scale with the size of bent spoon, the cherry. So those are scaled with the building in the perspective. Variety. Variety is a design principle that involves the use of different elements, details, or visual characteristics within a composition to add interest, complexity, and diversity. Variety can break the monotony of a design and engage the viewer by introducing contrast and surprises. Let's look into the example of variety. Here is an artwork with different colors, different sizes, and different elements. It's a modern painting, of course. Then comes pattern. Definition wise, pattern involves the repetition of elements. Now, it could be a group of elements also, such as shapes, colors, or objects, to create a sense of organization and rhythm. Example, in textile design, a repeating pattern of flowers on a fabric creates a cohesive and visually pleasing textile. Now, here are man made patterns. A pillar with repetition of the design, and these are the mosaic with repetition of the design forming a pattern. These are natural patterns. Pattern of a leaf and pattern of beehives. Friends, this is all about the principles of design. And if you want to come in contact with us, you can call us on 6363 or send us a text on WhatsApp 88896 I thank you very much for being with me. And let me see if there was any question here. Yeah, initially there was one message sent to me that the voice was not heard, but I hope thereafter you have been hearing me loud and clearly. There was a little technical glitch in the beginning. My due apology for that. So thank you very much for being with me. I hope you got some drive towards the principles of design. This is one of the lecture that we conduct here at Creative Edge while preparing our students for different competitive exam of design. Thank you.